Hey, what's up, YouTube? So I've had a look online, just had a quick squiz at YouTube, and it doesn't seem like there's really anything on this. So I figure I may as well make it since I'm literally doing this right now anyway. So I may as well record a little bit for you guys. Yeah, because I've honestly before I learned all this stuff, if there's not a YouTube video, it's so much more challenging, and it's just it's if you can see what someone else has done, it just gives you at least the right indication. So 12 to 20 or 24 to 12 volts trailer connection. These bad boys. So I'm going to use a 7-pin. It doesn't really matter what you're using, but this is what's going to be on the end of mine. So I'm in a truck, I just got it, and it has no trailer connections. None at all, absolutely zero. So there's a few ways to do this. Obviously you can't just go, your truck's lights straight to the caravan's lights, because it'll blow up all the caravan lights and catch fire to shit, potentially. Most likely just blow the globes, most likely. But if there is a short, then there's a lot of problems that can happen, because it might not be the right gauge cable for the higher voltage and the more power that can flow through it. Anyway, so ideally you should, you got a few options. So there's pretty much 3 options of ways that you can do this. Well, I guess 4. Pay someone else and or buy a unit that already has some of these things. You can get the 24 to 12 units. They're pretty much exactly what I'm doing here, and they're sometimes $300, which is obscene for the price of the actual components. So that's generally I think what most people would do. They just get an auto electrician, and the auto electrician will be like, this is the parts, because it saves him doing this, and you'll just pay the $300 and whatever for parts. And then he'll cost you $1,000 to put it all in. So that's crazy. So I'm gonna do it myself. And so this is what I'm gonna do. This is relays. So this is a 24 volt Panasonic relay. These are for PCB boards. I guess I don't recommend these because they're a bit harder to solder, but I'm just filling with mine with hot glue when I'm done. So it doesn't really matter for me, because it's strong, it's good, and I'm happy with that. You can get normal relays that have the big fat tabs that are easy to solder, or you can get the push-on connectors. I personally don't like those push-on connectors, because I've had things fail in the past, and then you check out the connector and it's corroded. But if you solder it and then hot glue it, I can't really see how that can go wrong. I might just fill in these holes to make it, may as well, but it's pretty hard for this to break. Relays are very reliable. They last, particularly Panasonic ones, good quality ones, they last a very, very long time. So, so this is what I'm doing. I am doing relays. So the other option would be using step downs. You still need a step down with relays, but you could put a step down on every single light, which is possible. A step down for your indicator, a step down for your other indicator, a step down for your brake light, and a step down for your tail light, which is a lot of complexity and a lot more likely for things to break, because obviously step downs, it'll always be running, and there's a lot of things that can go wrong because a lot more circuitry. Relays, they don't really have much circuitry, and then if the step down breaks, you replace one step down instead of trying to look through your step downs to find out things and take things apart. If this breaks, I literally can just go cut, put the new one in. Not too bad. Or just put it next to it and just change cables. It's pretty easy. I like that. It's nice and easy, and there's not a lot going on with relays. On, off, that's about it. So it's very unlikely for them to break. I have had step downs break before. This one's broken. It cost me quite a bit, which is a bit of a shame, because it was a 30 to 90 volts to a 26 amp. That's unfortunate. So I recommend doing relays. The other way is you can use a diode. This is just for lights. This won't work on brakes. So a diode, sorry, not a diode, a resistor. A resistor will drop voltage. However, on LEDs, pretty good, because LEDs don't use much power, so the resistor won't get insanely hot. However, if you use incandescent lights, the ones that brake lights, your typical brake lights, the brake lights on the truck and brake lights on the caravan, mine aren't LED, then those little resistors are going to get very hot, because they're trying to resist so much, and there's so much power going through them. Unless you've got really chunky resistors, you might want to try and get some thermal paste and put them to the frame of your truck or something, just so it has somewhere to sort of push that heat. I mean, it's okay, it can work. It's definitely the easiest way because you literally have 24 volt cable, resistor, 12 volt light. So like you just run it in series with it straight to the plug. So definitely the easiest way, definitely. So if you want just easy, you're not too stressed about if the lights just break or like a resistor goes, but I don't want to have to, I want to do it once and do it right and then not have to worry about it. So this is what I'm doing. So you pretty much go, this will be like the top side, the 24 volt side, which has the coil that when you connect those two, it pulls it on, which this is annoying because it's got 3, so it's pretty much got a always on, and then a on when you connect it. So I don't need this one. So that when I connect the 24 volt to that, it connects those two there. So what you have is 12 volt going in there, and you have the 24 volt there. So when you turn your lights on, this gets power and then connects these two together, and you have the 12 volt there and your trailer connection there. I hope this isn't going to be too confusing. It is a bit confusing. I actually drew a thing when I was trying to figure it out. Oh my god. And it's like an absolute dog's breakfast. So it is a bit confusing, and that's why I feel like if I can explain it somewhat, it might help. But yeah, so you pretty much just have, like, I got my indicator, tail light. This is just for the lights. I also would obviously have a brake light, but I'm just going to run my brake light with my brake switch because that is for my brake controller. So I may as well have that together because when I push my brake, the brake light comes on and this comes on. So I may as well not have it with this. I'll have it separate. So let's just talk about indicators and lights for now, so I don't make this video too long. And I'll just put this at the end, and you can skip to the end if you want to know how to do like the brake controller side of things. But for now, just do lights, because if your trailer is under 750, you don't even need a brake controller. So you pretty much have the lights that you connect to it. So you'd have the coil side to tail lights, indicator, brake light, other indicator, and then they literally just go to the positive and the negative of those lights. So when that switches on, it makes the coil and connects these two. So that's pretty much the fundamentals of it. And then what you need is you go the positive. So all the positives of the 12 volt coming in, which would be this one and this one. It doesn't really matter because the only thing this does is connect these two. So it could be that one or that one. Up to you. Totally up to you. So what you do is you have all the ones that, you know, you need one positive per relay. So one positive coming out, one positive coming out, and you have them all going to a single 12 volt positive. So then this would just be connecting to here pretty much. So you have your little 12 volt adapter that goes 24 to 12. So that gives it 12 volt power for all of your lights, and these turn it on when these turn on. So this turns on, this gives that light power. So then what you have after that is on the other side, so that side has 12 volt, the other side just goes to this guy, and that's it. That's pretty much it. So you have, I think I got it here somewhere. Whoop, there we go. So you'd have, say this is my left indicator, positive and negative for the left indicator. I have the 12 volts coming in here, and I have this one, which would be the active left indicator. So then this one would just connect to the left indicator. I'm aware that none of this is color coordinated. It is because cables are expensive and I got a lot of cables, so I know what I'm doing. I have labeled it all, right, left, tail. So that's pretty much how it works. And then you just got like the next one, you got the positive line coming out, and then I've got this one here, which will be silver right here, and that will be my right indicator. And then, you know, the next one, my gold cable, or chrome cable, copper cable, the positive going to there, and the other side coming out right here, which would be the tail light. So it's as easy as that. It's a little frustrating doing this, but honestly, once you've done one, you can just keep doing the exact same, and then you just hook them up to the other light, And I do recommend having a little letter. Obviously, when I was saying those things, that was not to what it was actually going to, but yeah, just letter them. So you know, right, left, tail, and then you'd have the brake light if you're not doing what I'm doing. And that's pretty much it. So I hope that helps, and that's helps understanding enough. So then all you've got to do is connect the earth, and you just connect that straight to, like, you could literally go to the negative of one of your lights, or you can go to the chassis, because most of this is a non-isolated DC to DC. So see how it's got two of the exact same blacks? These blacks are actually connected inside this. So if I go this one and then I touch the frame of the truck, it'll say 12 volts. And then if I do this one and I touch the frame of the truck, it'll say 24 volts. So these are connected. So it doesn't really matter. You don't have to run extra cables. For this, for the 12 volt side of this, you can literally just go earth straight to the frame, and then you're sweet, because your 24 volt side is connected to the battery and the frame. So that keeps things really easy. You don't have to run extra cables. So that's it. That's it for the lights. Now, feel free to like, subscribe, and all that, and leave this video if you've all you need is the lights. But yeah, if you're doing the brake controller, so I have nothing on this truck, and I have a massive ass caravan that I care very much about. So I have a brake controller, and this one's actually really cool. When you're going up hills, it senses it, and it has less on the brakes. When you're going down the hills, it senses it, and it adds to the brakes, which is awesome, because I've never had that before. So like usually if I'm going down a hill, it'll be like, you know, lock on, then lock, release, lock on, and it's terrible. So this will be, I think, a bit nicer, which is pretty keen for that. So, and a very important thing when you're using the brake controllers, you want a resettable fuse, and I have it here somewhere, right here. So it looks like this. They may say 14 volts, but it's literally just a piece of like metal that when it gets too hot, it lifts up, and as it cools down, it reconnects. So you want to use an automatic resettable fuse. So that is what this is. And it is very important, because say you're going down a really steep hill, and this is fused for like my absolute maximum braking capacity, but it won't fire this. This can go to like 35, this is 30. So I'm pretty safe when I'm coming to stuff, but I don't think my caravan's brakes would be 30 amps. But if they are, or their absolute maximum, and I'm running 30 amps, and this is getting really hot, before the cables start burning out, before this burns out, there's a little bit of metal that goes click and lifts because it got so hot, and then the brakes will stop working. But you'd rather that happening than if this fries, then the brakes won't work and it won't come back. So with this, the brakes will stop working, and then the little piece of metal cools down maybe 30 seconds, maybe 10 seconds. It's usually pretty quick, and then it'll connect again, and then you'll get brakes again until it heats up and clicks off again. So I'd much prefer going down a steep hill, brakes gone, 5 seconds, they're back. I turn it down a little bit and be a bit easy on the brakes, but at least I have brakes, because I've had the brakes fail before when a magnet melted through and shorted out, and that was very scary, and my brakes never came back. So that was terrible, and I was with a car, not a truck, so holy shit. And yeah, so resettable fuse, an automatic resettable fuse. Even if it says 14 volts, you should be sweet up to like 48 volts really, because there's no electronics in there. It's just a little piece of heated metal. So you should be sweet with that. The only thing with higher voltages is that can arc between that bit of metal that lifts. But once again, you're not dealing with crazy high voltages. It's just 24 volt. So yeah, very important. Resettable fuse. All right, and with this, so when you put your foot on the brake, it'll light up the brake light, which is what you need to make this start. So this won't work until you've put your foot on the brake and lit up the brake light. So with this one, it is see how it says, here we go, right? Voltage only when pedal is pushed. So it needs the 12 volt when the pedal is pushed, not lifted. So mine is only when I push my foot on the pedal, there is no voltage. And when I lift it, there's voltage. So that's when these little relays with their third one is very useful, because when you connect power to this, it gives power to this one. And when you don't have power to it, it gives power to this. So these two are always connected until there's power applied, and then these two are connected. So in this aspect, I only have power to it when my foot's off the brake. So I would have that connected to these two, not these two, if you get what I mean. If you have power when you push it on the brake, then you do the opposite and have these two. Sorry if this is getting a bit confusing. It is a bit confusing. But I hope you understand that. So what I've done is brake switch. I have this going to the 24 volt brake switch. So when I push my foot on the brake, this will get power, and then that will give the 12 volts from this. This will be connecting to 12 volt from the step down, and this is the power going in. So it needs power. Where is it? It needs the black. The black is this one, and so this is power going in. And this is brake lights. There we go. So it's these ones connect to the power. So it has power, and then when my foot is pushed, it gives it 12 volt power to this line, if you know what I'm saying. So that's how this will work. So this will get power when the foot is pushed, and it will always have power. It just turns on when the foot is pushed. I hope that is what if you understand that. So this is the brake line. The brake line is going to be connected to this one here, and I'm going to run that all the way back. I know it's probably unnecessarily thick, but if you look at it, it's actually not as thick as it looks. Just a lot of insulation. So that is going to be running down all the way to the brake one on this, which is blue. Electric brakes blue. So that is pretty much it. So that gives power when you push your foot down to the brakes. This comes to here, getting the 12 volt from here to activate it, and all the lights are the same. So that's pretty much it. I really hope it wasn't too confusing. I know it's a bit confusing. It's a lot of messing around. So if you do want to just do the diodes, the resistors, then it is easier. But it's probably less reliable, but they're just lights, so it probably doesn't matter too much. Never use diode resistors. Never use resistors with the electric brakes, because they are going to get so hot and they will probably burn out. Definitely go with the relays for at least electric brakes. So it doesn't matter if you lose your lights, it matters if you lose your electric brakes. So I hope this helps. I know it's pretty confusing, and I wish I had a better diagram. I can show you my diagram, but it's probably not great if you kind of understand that. That's all the lights, the relays for the lights. I'm actually using a separate one, so this is going to be for my cabin, and I'm going to have a larger one just for the brakes, because I want the brakes to be on its own thing, so I never have to worry about them crapping out. So, see, resettable fuse, which is that one there. And we got 24 volts going into the 12 volts, 12 to 20 volt step down, the brake controller from the brake pedal into the relay. I hope that sort of makes sense. I should have probably used different colors, but I didn't think anyone would see this. But yeah, I just needed it so I knew what I was buying. We're already going on like 20 minutes long, so I hope this helps. And if it does, at least narrow things down and make you decide that you just want someone else to do it for like $1,000, or you can do it yourself. You can do anything yourself. And yeah, as for like pricing wise, just for the relays, it's maybe like $30 of relays, opposed to like a $300 unit that is just full of relays. So it's about a tenth the price. And these are high quality relays. The ones you're gonna get from online, I don't know, it's questionable, and you know, it's up to you. So do with this what you will. And If it does help and it wasn't too confusing, feel free to like and subscribe and all that. It always helps the channel out. And yeah, sayonara. Good luck with it.